All right, Mr. Burrell?
Yes.
Mr. Goldsmith?
Yes.
Mrs. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Jacobowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
And Mr. Iyer?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, do we have any old business or new business?
Start with old business. Any old business from the board?
Well, the new business is this resolution. Do we have it already, or we don't have it?
Why don't you explain the topic you're referring to? So the question that was raised is whether the board should appoint a residency officer in the Lakewood School District to deal with students who may be attending schools here illegally. And so there was some thought that if the board established a residency officer, that could make sure that the students who are going to school in Lakewood legally have an entitlement to do so. And I know Ms. Myers wanted to speak to that a little bit.
After I discussed it with the business administrator, we discussed that we have 3 attendance officers in the district that do a similar job. So if we get a tip that a student is in the building that is registered in the district, that should be in the district, we do go out and we research it and we investigate that. We send them out to the home, we send out letters, and we do, in rare instances, follow the student. So we do have someone that does a similar position.
But that's after the student has been identified.
Right, correct.
Perhaps could you maybe after tonight's meeting give the board members a copy of the job description so we have a better handle on what that person does. So maybe creating a new position, maybe duplicative of what this person already does, so we can look at it, maybe talk about it further at the next board meeting. Is that okay with everybody? Okay. Any other? Yeah.
I'll help for make an annual assessment. To do an annual submission. We discussed that that's only on the first submission. Can we do that yearly as well?
So I guess the question, Ms. Winters, is can we require proof of residency in Lakewood on an annual basis, or do we do that already, or what are your thoughts on prior to the start of the school year, verifying that the students who are enrolled update their proofs, basically?
So you want 4 proofs of residency for every student in the public school district every single year. That's 6,400 kids.
So currently we do it upon initial enrollment, is that how it works? Just
Correct.
upon the initial enrollment?
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be 6,400. I mean, you would need a whole other office just to collect that information on every student. That's an enormous job.
I'm not commenting on the amount of work. I don't doubt that for a
We
second.
do that for the public and the non-public school. I mean, how would that work? I mean, we could do, are we doing that for everybody? In the place of the school district?
Yes, we'll discuss the next meeting.
Mark, can I just comment?
Ms. Winters?
I just want to answer the non-public.
Just as a point of reference, on the non-public side, the Transportation Department does verify residency when a B6T application is applied for transportation. So every non-public school student is required every year from kindergarten through 12th grade to submit a B6T. Their initial application, so for all the kindergartners and for any new registrant, their first year in Lakewood, they're required to bring evidence of residency when they submit the B6T. So there is a step done for the non-public schools to verify residency.
Right, that would be like public school first year. We're talking every year for every student.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. But you asked about the non-public, so I
Not
know.
about non-public once when they enroll, but we're talking every year for every student.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying.
So Mr. Cockpit, are you saying that every year for the non-public students, we do re-verify enrollment?
We're required under statute to have a B6T submitted for every non-public student every year. We only check the residency for every kindergartner, because that's obviously their first year in our system. But also, if a 12th grader just moves into Lakewood in their 12th year grade, when they submit their P-16, a proof of residency would be required.
But after the first year they've been in the system.
Once they've been in the system 1 year, no, we don't, because obviously we have 34,000 students. It'd be enormously cumbersome.
So one of the things some of my school district clients do where there is a residency problem, they've established basically a residency committee, a committee of the board who looks at residency issues, looks at the policies, talks. I think you should have a discussion with the administration about the feasibility of a re-enrollment, what's involved, what resources are going to be required, what kind of personnel are going to be required. I think it would probably be hasty for us to just make a decision tonight. So, Mr. Ryan, do you want to establish maybe an ad hoc residency committee to explore some of these issues and assign some board members to be on that committee?
Yes.
You want to ask board members and volunteers to get back to you? You want to, in terms of who would be on that committee? Or? All right, so we'll discuss it. Mr. Ryan will establish a residency committee to look at these issues. It is important, in my experience. You know, if you find some students who are going to school here illegally, costing the district lots of money, it is one way that a school district can, again, make sure they're educating students who have a legal right to go here. Something to certainly consider. Any other new business?
Yes. Resolve the Board of Education.
So let me just give some background. I understand what Mr. Jacobowitz is going to do. Board, a couple meetings ago, entered into a transportation agreement with the Jackson Board of Education, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Jacobowitz, for a joint transportation agreement where basically it results in revenue, correct me if I'm wrong, to the Lakewood School District to transport students in Jackson School District. Mr. Jacobowitz wanted to enter into a similar agreement with the Toms River School District.
Right, a jointure is a win-win for both districts. For the joining district, which would be Jackson or Toms River in this case, they're the joining district, Lakewood is the host district. The joining district is those parents and those children enjoy transportation that they otherwise wouldn't receive. For Lakewood, the benefit is that there are empty seats on that route that it doesn't add one. The cost of the route doesn't change at all for the Lakewood Board of Ed, and by filling those seats with jointure students, the Lakewood Board of Ed receives revenue from the joining district for those seats that are now occupied. So, as I said, the joining district has a benefit, and the host district has a benefit. So it's a symbiotic relationship between two districts.
Thank you for the explanation.
When you jointure with another district, if you're doing it in the non-public sector, it's not like you would do it in every other district. Other districts take one bus, and they go through the town, they pick up all the kids in that town, and they bring them in. Because we don't find boys and girls in the school, Lakewood brings a bus closest to the border of the township, and they let kids get on buses with Lakewood students that are on it. When you jointure with another town, with the fact that we have very limited resources now, you would put a Toms River student on the bus, a Lakewood family moves, you have to kick that Toms River student off the bus. So it's kind of not easy to do with the resources we have currently.
Well, how's it working out with Jackson?
Was very limited in Jackson. We have a lot of parents that are moving to Jackson right now, and there's a big argument because they want the buses to go deeper into Jackson and pick the students up. But we can't. We bring them to the border, and it's a huge argument because they feel that we get the 884 from the other district, but the buses can't go all the way out to where they are because it's just not enough time to do it.
Do the parents in the other communities understand that the seat on the bus is conditioned on?
No, they do not.
So we can make that, we can notify them.
Yeah.
Nothing.
We would have to have some sort of agreement up above and notification before you enter that it's like, I'd be hesitant. There's the kicking the students off the bus. You're going to be telling a Lakewood parent that we're transporting River students, but we can't transport your Lakewood student.
What about mandatory commitment, right? So
Couldn't we tell them up front that the seat is conditioned on,
Try, but it's
that
not easy.
the seat is conditioned on there not being a need for it in the Lakewood community? And if there is, your seat gives way to the students in Lakewood.
As long as you're aware of that, because you're going to be hearing about it as well. I mean, once we try to kick a student off of a bus,
I mean, we're kicking 6,000 kids off a bus now. I don't know why I do that. But you know,
from a business administrator point of view, I'd always like an additional source of revenue. I mean, I can't deny that. But from the Lakewood point of view, it is a little different.
So I think it's important when if we enter into such agreement, we have some language in the agreement that makes it very clear, upfront notification to parents that this is conditional.
Right.
You know, your seat is not set in stone, basically. Yeah.
Mr. Zimmer, just to understand, if you did make it conditional and the joining students had a permanent seat for the entire year, and new students moved in on the Lakewood side, and now you have an overload because all the available seats have been taken by the joining school students, it would require another route to be generated by the host district. Now the symbiotic relationship is gone. The host district absorbs all the cost. So the spirit of a jointure has always been subject to available resources.
That's understood, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolved, the Board of Education hereby approves the joint transportation agreement with the Town River School District for the transportation of students from River Family Schools in Lakewood, subject to availability, concentrates, seat availability, proximity to existing rents. Second.
I'm sorry, what is the first one?
Mr. Coe was making a motion. I think Mr. Goldsmith, I'm sorry. Mr. Rodriguez seconded it.
Right, thank you. And there was no discussion? Mr. Burrell?
Yes.
Mr. Goldsmith?
Yes.
Mrs. Gonzalez? Mr. Jokovich?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
And Mr. Hyde?
Yes.
Okay.
In terms of care,
How many kids would it take to fill the hole? How much?
in terms of carrying out that resolution, I guess, Mr. Thompson, would you be the one to reach out to Tom's River, or?
Yes, I'll have the transportation director.
When they go to school, they're to school.
And then he put a bid for water.
Just for busing.
Mr. Thompson, is that the end of the agenda?
Yes, I would need a motion to
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?